Welcome to Lore and Lantern, old tales, new adventures. Here, familiar stories are reimagined, retold, and brought to life in voice and wonder. Tonight's tale takes us high into the Appalachian Mountains, where whispers speak of a terrifying creature unlike any other. Half mountain lion, half human, it is known as the Wampus Cat. With glowing eyes and a cunning spirit, it prowls the dark woods, and those who wander too close may find it watching from the shadows. Are you ready? The lantern's lit, the chapter unfolds, and a tale begins. The Wampus Cat. I've spent every summer at my granny's little cabin in the woods for as long as I can remember. We'd spend the days picking berries, making jam, and swimming in the lake. This was the first and only time I visited her in the fall. But at 12 years old, practically grown and too old for trick-or-treating, Mom said I could spend Halloween here. Granny's gonna be so surprised to see me, I thought as I skipped up the steps and onto the front porch. Granny, it's me, Emmy Lou. Surprise! Happy Halloween! Why, Emmy Lou, what are you doing here? I came to surprise you. Isn't it great? I'm always happy to see you. It's just unexpected. For some reason, she didn't seem as happy to see me as I thought she'd be. The disappointment must have shown on my face as she suddenly smiled, pulled me in for a warm hug, and said, "Come on in, Pumpkin. I was just finishing up a batch of fried apples." The kitchen was warm and toasty and filled with the smells of cinnamon and brown sugar, and something else, something I'd never smelled before. A large pot bubbled on the stove, and as I attempted to lift the lid and take a peek, Granny slapped my hand away. Now, don't touch that. That's for dinner. The ladies and I have a potluck tonight, so I'll be out for a few hours. If I'd known you were coming, I would have made other arrangements. Oh, well, that's all right. We can spend the day together tomorrow. Besides, tonight they're having a bonfire at... You'll stay right here, she interrupted me. These woods are dangerous at night. All kinds of critters roaming around in the dark. It ain't safe. I'll tuck you in before I go. I'm not scared. I'm 12 years old now, and there's gonna be... I don't want to hear another word about it. No bonfires, no going out. You want the Wampus Cat to get you? It's Halloween. You know she's gonna be out on the prowl. Granny, you know there ain't no such thing as the Wampus Cat. That's just a story to scare little kids. Emmy Lou, don't make me tell you again. It ain't safe, and I want you to stay tucked in bed while I'm out. Now, go on upstairs and take a bath. Supper will be ready when you're done. When I came down to supper, the table was already set, and Granny served up 2 big bowls of her chicken and dumplings. It smelled delicious, and thankfully wasn't what she'd had boiling on the stove earlier. Are you sure I can't go to the bonfire for just a little while? I promise I won't stay out long. It's Halloween. I want to roast marshmallows and tell ghost stories. A light flashed in Granny's eyes. What was that? I already made myself clear. Now finish up. I need to go. After we'd finished eating, Granny insisted on tucking me into bed. You know you don't have to tuck me in, Granny. I can... It's gonna be cold tonight, and I want to make sure you're warm and safe, she said as she unfolded a large patchwork quilt, one I'd never seen before. Did you make this? What are these designs? They look like eyes. This is a special quilt for especially cold nights, like tonight. Be a good girl and stay cozy under the blanket, and I'll bring you back a slice of Miss Sarah's stack cake. As much as I loved Miss Sarah's stack cake, it wasn't enough to soothe my disappointment about having to go to bed so early and miss the bonfire. I won't be out too late, she said, twitching ever so slightly. Are you all right, Granny? I'm fine, Pumpkin. Don't worry about me. Get some sleep and I'll see you in the morning. She kissed my forehead, made sure the quilt was well tucked around me, and left. Why was she acting so strangely? And what was this lady's potluck on Halloween night? Did she always do this? As soon as I heard the front door close and lock, I jumped out of bed and changed my clothes. I could go to the bonfire for just a little while and Granny would never know. And what she don't know can't hurt. I slipped out the back door and into the cold night air. The wind whistled low through the trees, carrying the bite of autumn and the faint smell of wood smoke. I'd forgotten a flashlight, so I snatched up one of Granny's jack-o'-lanterns from the porch steps. Its crooked grin flickered in the dark as I set off toward the woods. The forest was still and deadly quiet. The trees swallowed the moonlight, leaving only the faint glow of the candle inside my pumpkin. Shadows stretched long and deep, every branch seeming to reach for me, but I wasn't scared. Like I said, I was 12 years old. I wasn't a baby anymore. Then, a rustle in the underbrush. I froze. Footsteps in the leaves, not those of a person. Too light, too quick. An animal? A cat, maybe. I walked a little further when the sound came again, closer this time, and with it, a strange smell. It was the same smell I'd caught earlier in Granny's kitchen. That's when I saw them. Eyes, glowing yellow-green from the dark. A low growl. The shape behind those eyes shifted, too big for any cat I'd ever seen. The growl deepened, and the eyes began to creep toward me. I turned and bolted toward Granny's, the creature crashing after me. The wind snuffed out my candle. Desperate, I hurled the pumpkin into the shadows. A shriek tore through the night, half howl, half scream. I'd hit it, whatever it was, but I didn't stop to look. Branches whipped at my face as the trees broke open and moonlight spilled over Granny's clearing. There was her house, just ahead. I ran even faster. It was gaining. I could feel it behind me. At last, the porch steps. I stumbled up them two at a time, yanking the door open and slammed it shut, fumbling the chain across. A heartbeat later, I heard it. Heavy steps on the porch. I didn't wait. I tore upstairs, dove beneath Granny's quilt, and pulled it over my head. The night was silent, but for the pounding of my own heart. I pulled the quilt tighter around me, its weight and warmth somehow comforting, though my heart was still hammering. The footsteps on the porch faded, and eventually I fell asleep. When I opened my eyes again, pale morning light streamed through the frosted window. For a moment, I wondered if I dreamed it all. I wrapped myself in the warm quilt and tiptoed downstairs. Granny was already in the kitchen, humming low as she flipped pancakes on the stove. Out the window, I spotted the jack-o'-lantern I'd carried into the woods. It lay smashed on the path, claw marks gouged deep into its sides. Granny followed my gaze. Her smile was warm, but her eyes, they glinted just so, a strange yellow-green. She nodded toward the quilt. Kept you safe, didn't it, Pumpkin? That old quilt's been in the family a long time. I swallowed hard. Her smile didn't fade. She only shook her head and said, "Told you the Wampus Cat was out last night." The end.